I am sitting in my Tuesday night periscoping land, which is in the parking lot of my daughter's gymnastics studio. So she's in there flipping around and I'm in here, and I have to have the car running because it's going to just get way too hot. It is 87 degrees here in Texas, so I wanted to make sure that I, of course, did not boil up and start sweating in front of you. That's the dangers of live scoping and streaming, is you get to see the real life, and I could probably be sweating up a storm in here. For those of you who are not familiar with Periscope, welcome to the land of Periscope. I do have a support group for those of you who want to be a part of some accountability and also learn more from each other in a centralized location. So if you go over to Facebook, yes, we are on a different platform, but in Facebook there's a group. And if you search, you can search for Periscope Performance Academy. Here's the direct link, facebook.com/groups/Periscope Performance Academy. So again, facebook.com/groups/Periscope Performance Academy. What do you do about your promotional posts? I know you're probably building, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, as well as Pinterest, many different platforms out there. And there's always a delicate balance of trying to figure out, well, how much do I post for promotion where I'm actually going to be asking them either for a sale or a call to action, as well as how often do I just deliver value and what type of value to deliver. We can really dive into the type of value to deliver a little bit later, but what's really important is just knowing exactly how often are you putting your links up there or your sales offer or what you are selling in a sense, okay? So this, you can research this to death, and there's really not one perfect formula. You have to do a trial and error to see really how it works best with the followers that you have, because your followers are different than my followers. So you have to kind of do a split test and, play around with it, but keep the analytics of it so that you know exactly which ones are working. So totally, I'm going to totally talk about that book in a second there too. So keep record of when you do put up a promotional post. What day was it? What time of day was it? As well as the interaction on that. So you want to keep a good analytics on it. And of course, if you're working in Facebook, you should be, of course, using a like page or a fan page, whatever you want to call it. And that's easy for you to be able to pull up the post and see the insights. So you go up to the top left of Facebook and you click on Insights, and it will pull up all your posts, and you can see, of course, the analytics for that post. See how much of an organic reach it has. You can even break down in your insights to see who your demographic is, what age group are they, where are they predominantly from. So you really want to have a good understanding. Now, when you are putting up something promotional, here's something to think about. This, of course, is after you've delivered a lot of value, which we're going to talk about as well. That when you are putting up something that is labeled promotional, where you want people to take an action with you, you really want to test out where it's going to see your target market the most. So obviously play around and figure out what the best timing of day it is for you to post on those social platforms, but just start taking a look at your own life. Whoever your target market is, whoever your niche is, that is basically their lifestyle. You got to gauge, when are they on? When are they checking their social streams? Are they doing it during work hours, during lunch hours, when the kids go to bed? So whatever your target market is or your niche, start realizing when would they be on? When would they see this post? And here's something else to consider, that you may put up a post and it really didn't get much traffic, but again, that's the luck of the draw of someone seeing your content when you just put it up. So play around with putting up that exact same post and content at a different day and time, and then see how it relates. So that's how you can do a test, is take one post, don't change it. So keep kind of the wording the same. Do I have the sunroof cover open? Maybe close it to kill the glare. I don't have a closer option. I don't. And I can't see if I'm glared out. Do you pause a boast? I don't know. I'm sorry, there's too much typos here. To post a boosted post when it's not getting enough reach. We're not really talking about boosted posts, but right now I'm not going to really talk exactly about boosted posts. But in a lot of the research, I see a lot of people are not promoting to boost posts. So that's kind of a yes and no. So I've agreed with it, and then I've tested it out, and I've gotten a lot of virality on it. So I don't know a clear answer on that, and we could talk about that at another time, but I just suggest you always test it out. And my quick rule of thumb with boosting a post is if the original post is getting a lot of organic traffic, then I would suggest boosting it, because then that really kind of creates a lot more virality. But if a post is not getting much, I wouldn't boost it, because then that might say something that post is just not what should be up there. So I have boosted when the organic reach of the post has gotten a lot of interaction. Okay, so make sure you use the same post as well as the content, the picture and the content, and post it at different times and different days so that you can see how it's going to get traction. So again, depending on which platform you're on, it's going to relate differently, and keep record of it. So you can again go to your Facebook Insights and look at the post and see how much organic traffic it got, how much activity, how much comment, how many comments, how many likes, and all of the shares on there. So something to think about, and this of course is just a quick tip for you guys. With the post that you're putting up, it's more important for you to have shares on that than a like, okay? Because think about it. So for instance, if you go to my Facebook page, so I'm just talking about Facebook right now, but facebook.com/Coach Dwyer, that's my Facebook page. My goal is to have as many people find my stuff that don't know me. That's my goal. So when I put up something that I'm looking for it to get shared, I try to make the post be as interesting or valuable to my current set of followers that they want to share it to their world, the world that I don't know yet. So the type of information that you put up really has to speak to those people, your followers, where it's going to be valuable for them to click share. So it's better for you to have a share, because that creates that virality of eyes of people that don't know you. So that again is completely off topic, but that was just a quick little tip. So now someone did mention the jab, 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 right hook. So of course I did talk before about Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. And I think he's fantastic. Of course, he's a different personality. Not everybody's going to agree with his methodology, but when it comes to delivering value, you can research many different types of training out there for social media. And his concept is easy to understand process. So that's why I'm always going to recommend his book. His book was on my top 10 reading suggested books that I put out there on Periscope. And if you want to see that top 10 list, go to my youtube.com/Christine Dwyer page, and you can scroll through my live playlist. So click on the playlist, and I've got all my live Periscopes edited, so you don't need to listen to a lot of the chatter. Yeah, he has a really strong personality. I mean, I have a strong personality too, but he did an interview with my mentor. So my mentor is Chalene Johnson, and those of you who are just jumping on, thanks again for finding me. My name is Christine, and I've been working with small business owners, independent contractors, entrepreneurs for the past 15 years. And I initially started working with people and not medical equipment in 2000. And that is when I started working with Chalene Johnson's company. And she's a fitness celebrity, but also she is a business celebrity in my eyes. And I started working for her company, grooming the entrepreneurs that were working for her company and getting them going in their business. In the past 7 years, I've translated all those skills over to my network marketing business with Team Beachbody and coaching. So I help launch entrepreneurs in that business. But Chalene did an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk on, I think she did it in Periscope and also on her podcast. In her podcast, she's got two of them. One is Build Your Tribe, and the other one is The Chalene Show. So she did one, and she did preface it that his goals and his motto and his direction in life may not be your cup of tea. And I know for me, it's not exactly either, because he does love working. Like, he really will work, and that works in his life, or so he's built it. And of course, he's a success. But for me, I don't want to work obsessively. So sometimes, some people, you'll grab a lot of their information that you'll agree with, but then remember, you don't need to agree with every part of their life. So I agree, of course, with a lot of the techniques that he teaches. And yeah, he does. He works like 19 hours a day. I agree with a lot of the techniques that he teaches with that book, especially Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the other book that I promoted is Crush It. So that's a great book as well. But in Jab, 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 Right Hook, it teaches you about delivering more valuable content for your following, and then the slower or the lower amount of promotional posts. So to give you some idea, every platform is a little bit different, okay? So for instance, if we're talking about Twitter comparative to Facebook, Twitter, you can post a ton more per day on there and it not annoy your followers, because Twitter moves so fast and people are constantly searching for hashtags, which of course you can be discovered. So realistically, I mean, Twitter type of training is a different animal as opposed to Instagram or Facebook. Much the same with Pinterest. The platforms have their own life. So for instance, one of the coaches that is working with me today was asking for my opinion on how she should get started with Periscope. And she suggested what she was going to do. And I told her, no, that's not how Periscope works. That is not the most effective way to be able to build and engage and get a following on Periscope. So her idea of what she was going to do didn't match this environment. You need to make sure that you understand the environment that you're working in with social platforms. And you can't know them all perfectly. And that's why I know a lot about a lot of them, but I know a lot about only a very few. So that's the thing, is you can't know them all perfectly. Just do your best and focus on the ones that are going to, 1 to 2 social platforms that are going to be able to drive your business and you can really own. That's another quick tip there. So when you're looking at how many posts you may put up on Twitter as opposed to how many daily posts that you would put up on Facebook, that's completely different. So to give you a gauge, like say for instance, I posted on Twitter once per hour. And then every 4 hours, I actually had 5 posts go up at once. And it's kind of a technique called the mom technique, where you have a bunch of your posts go out at once, so people like see this burst of you, and they pay attention to what you got going on. So if I put a post up every hour, so say 24 hours, but then every 4 hours, I put up 4 posts at that time. So not to do quick math, but what is that? So 40 posts. Let's just say I put 40 posts up on Twitter per day, which is easily doable. Could I put 40 posts up on Facebook? No. Facebook, first of all, would totally bury my posts because the quantity of posts that I'm putting up relative to my following is too much. So there's an equation, and I can't tell you it exactly because I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but I heard this through the grapevine and paid attention a little bit, is that depending on how many followers you have on Facebook, Facebook basically gives you a certain amount of posts per day where they'll present your information at a higher amount. And so I can't tell you the numbers on that because, of course, all of your following is going to be different. So my following, I think, over on Facebook is about 63,000. But there's days where I may be putting up amazing stuff, but it's not getting traffic. And it's just the cyclic thing with Facebook. And it's hard to really nail down because I really feel that Facebook is constantly changing their analytics to confuse us, especially those who are doing marketing techniques, of course, on there, to constantly keep us in the know of retraining and being engaged with it. So that's, again, another topic. I'm going up on all these tangents. But do you see, I cannot post 40 posts on Facebook because I would lose a ton of my followers. I would probably go in Facebook jail. They'll hide my stuff. So I have to decide how many posts per day I'm going to be effectively putting on my like page, for instance. So now my profile page, again, this is a completely different avenue of a different topic that we could talk about. But if I'm talking about directly on my Facebook like page, how many posts would you put up? And you got to look at a rule of thumb of activity of when your target market is on there. This changes, and it does a lot. So for instance, here's something to think about for me. I put a post up all the time, first thing in the morning, like 8 a.m. on Facebook. And it used to get a lot of traffic. For the past 6 months or more, I'm not getting much traffic on my morning posts. And I don't get it until the late morning now. And it doesn't matter what I put up. I've tried different types of posts, and it still doesn't get seen. And so I don't know what has changed, but possibly that's not where my followers are living at that point. So I got to roll with the punches, basically, with Facebook. So if I'm looking at when my stuff gets seen, then I plan out how many posts per day I'm going to have up there. If you want to build a huge following, especially on Facebook and other platforms, consistency is key. So the question is, how often do you post? Let me ask you that. How often do you post? Let's pick a platform, on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, how many posts do you put up on Instagram? Is it once a day? Is it 5 a day? Is it 5 a week? What are you doing on Instagram? No, it's not because of summer. This has been a while that it's been like that, and it's been more than that. Okay, so Instagram, she says she posts about 1 to 3 times per day. Anybody else? Because I'm actually going to be talking about this tonight. So if you want to come on later on tonight at 9:30 Eastern, I'm going to talk about the best practices for posting and what times on different platforms. Try for once a day average, 1 to 2 times a day, 2 times a day, once a day, 1 to 2 daily, but it's private. I'm not using it yet for your business. Okay, so these are some good numbers, because that, of course, is relative to the platform and the type of content that you have up. Now let's go to Facebook. How many times on Facebook are you posting per day? Thanks so much, Blasi, for your kind words. So now give me the Facebook updates. How many times per day are you putting an update, say, for instance, on your like page or your fan page, whatever you want to call it? 2 times, 3 to 5, 2 to 3, 3 times, 3, 2 to 4, the same as Instagram. Okay, so 3. So now this, of course, these numbers that everybody's giving, that can't be your number, because depends on how big your following is. So again, how many people you have on Facebook on your like page. If you have 500 people on your like page, you can't do what somebody else is doing if they've got 10,000 people. So again, gauge when your followers are on, and just make sure that when you do put up content, it is super awesome content. Now, for me, on average, I really try to go for at least 3 times per day on Facebook and at least 1 time per day on Instagram. Now, the thing is consistency, because if you're not consistent, you're forgettable. So that's the key. The same thing here with Periscope. So yeah, this is a little bit of a stressor, and I'm going to be completely transparent and honest with Periscope, because if you're someone that doesn't know me, which some of you guys might be on here don't know me, if you saw my name come across, say, for instance, I was in somebody else's Periscope live feed, and you clicked on my profile and you went to my broadcast to see what does this girl talk about, and I have no recordings available because I hadn't done any in the past 24 hours, you probably wouldn't follow me, because you would just assume that I'm not putting content out. Now, I'll probably say you probably would follow me, and the reason why you may is, even if I don't have the content up there, you would probably look at my stats. So I couldn't have over 1 million hearts and the followers unless I was putting up stuff consistently. You know, that kind of makes sense. So that's why I thank you so much for tapping the screen to give me hearts, because that does, of course, let people know that I do deliver content on a consistent basis. But just in generality, while you're building, thanks for coming on, Coach Kiana, as you're building in your Periscope platform, you got to at least try to shoot for once every 24 hours. You got to get something up in your library all the time if you're budding and brand new. So that's why in the beginning phases of me doing Periscope, I knew nothing about Periscope. And I listened, of course, to my mentor who ran a podcast about it and told in her podcast, study before you start. Study this person before you start. Study this person before you start. Study this person before you start. So, of course, that was in my mind. I knew nothing about Periscope. I just downloaded the app, and that was all I knew. I didn't have time yet to research the platform. But then I was just at a meeting one day, and I was like, I'm just going to put this on Periscope and see what happens. And I started. So I accidentally started. And that was how I started. And then I realized I'm now on a roll. I got to be consistent, because if I want to build a following, a tribe, then I need to be consistent. And that's why a lot of the times I will put 2 on per day on Mondays through Thursdays, because of me wanting to have more valuable topics up there that people can see that I am a person that will deliver the goods. That's basically it. So yes, consistency is key. So now, if you're posting in the limited amount that you guys already identified on Instagram and on Facebook, and again, we'll talk about Twitter in a different sense and Pinterest in a different sense as well. If you're putting, oh, I just opened up my door accidentally. I thought someone was busting in. Did you see the panic on my face? Real life on Periscope. Okay, so if you're going to be posting on Pinterest and Twitter, that is completely different. So let's put that on a pin, a sidebar, okay? If you're going to be posting on Facebook and on Instagram, and you've got X amount of followers, and you're putting up, 3 to 5 times per post per day, how many of those are going to be promotional posts? So promotional posts mean anything where you're trying to drive people to work with you, to click a link to sign up for something, or to promote something that you're doing, something like that, where you want someone to take an action. So if I'm putting up 3 to 5 posts per day on Facebook, say 3, I probably wouldn't use 3 of those per day. You have to look at a week. So if you're looking at Facebook or Instagram and you are looking at a week's time of posts, this is my best suggestion and I could be completely wrong, but if you're looking at a week's timeline of posts, if you put 3 posts per day, look at the quantity of times that you're putting it up there and the timing that you're putting it up, and make sure that the majority of your posts are of value. So there's the rule of thumb. You can use the 80% rule, 20% rule, which is the very common, I think, for everything in life. I eat clean 80% of the time. I work out 80% of the time. Everything's 80%. If you use whatever rule of thumb you want to, go for it. But the type of information that you're putting up should not just be your own created content. So for instance, when you are putting up something on Facebook, don't just always look at 3 posts that you made up, 3 posts that you made up. Every post that you put up, whether it's shared information, say for instance from Mari Smith or Success Magazine, whomever you are sharing content from, that's a post. So again, it depends. Your type of content has to be of value. And the value could be different things. Again, sharing content, something that you've learned that's going to help people, information that you are creating and helping people. But basically, thanks so much, Blasty, for always promoting me. The type of value that you're putting up is going to really be what sets you apart. So when you do want to put something up there that is an offer, then people won't be mad about it. And you won't come across super promotional. So look at a week's time, and basically when you do promote, gauge when you can go in and out of promotion. So I'm doing the zigzag because sometimes your promotional post might be the morning one, and then that might be Monday. And then say for instance, Wednesday, you might put a promotional post up in the night. So spread out, sprinkle out your promotions at different times. So for instance, on Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you're only posting 1 time per day, you really can't put up many promotional posts frequently because people are looking at your template and they're going to judge if you're offering more value as opposed to, oh, this person just wants to sell. Because you've gone to those Instagram sites that you go to their page and you're like, oh, this is just total sales, and you're immediately gone. So homework, these are good homeworks. Hey, for those of you who are in the Periscope Performance Academy, and that of course is a Facebook group. For those of you who want to jump on it, go to facebook.com/groups/Periscope Performance Academy. Ask to join, we'll add you in. Find someone to evaluate each other's Instagram. Let's do Instagram as a homework assignment, okay? So find someone to just evaluate each other's Instagram. You each pass on each other's Instagram, and you evaluate and have that person give you their first impression of you without researching you. So pick someone that doesn't really know you very well and have them go to your Instagram and just look and give you first impression, as well as how promotional and salesy do you come across. If you can do that, then that, of course, is going to be a huge benefit. So again, if you want to join the Facebook group that I've created to help my tribe here on Periscope, go to facebook.com/groups/Periscope Performance Academy. Again, you can search up at the top bar, Periscope Performance Academy. And I just bought that to make it general for other people to have any type of training. I had it before as an accountability group, but I changed the name just for those of you who that's been on. Okay? So that's another homework assignment, is do that with each other, because that's going to help you. So does that make sense? That you have to be offering a lot of value, not just your own content that you've created, but other people's information, OPI, other OPC. It's OPC. You down with OPC, other people's content. You have to share other people's content. Don't share and don't put your promotional content on other people who are in the same business as you. So, the business I'm in, there's a lot of people who drink the same Kool-Aid in my business, and they think It's a benefit to friend request all those people in the same business. No, it's not. Why are you talking to the same Kool-Aid drinkers? Why do I want to fill up my friends list in Facebook full of people who are already in this business? I don't want to. I want to meet people who are not in this business. And the same thing goes for when you are constantly sharing other people's content. Careful. If you share somebody else's content that's in your business, you're basically saying, here, do business with them, you know? So I promote. So for instance, I do a lot of promotion for people within my organization because their success is my success. That's the way I look at it. So people that are in my organization, like tonight, I got a planned post where I'm going to promote one of my top coaches who's off right now in Santa Monica, California, because she's having her elite couple days of Superstar Day. She achieved the top in the company, and I'm going to promote her on my page. I'm not threatened that people will go to her for business. I'm not. Because, of course, she's someone important to me. I want her to have a lot of success. And if they connect more with her than me, go. That's the way I look at it, okay? But I'm not going to share someone's stuff on my content if I'm not taking that risk that I'm going to lose that person over to that. Yes, Julie Voris is the person I'm talking about. So that's something to consider. So look at your week span. And that, of course, is where you can gauge how often you're going to right hook. Now, if you're talking on Twitter, you can promote daily. So, for instance, if you're putting 20 plus posts per day, if you're putting that much quantity out there, you've got a lot of value that you're offering, that sprinkle of promotion is very small. So you're going to be able to get away with that on Twitter every day if you wanted to because of that. And of course, make sure that you're properly using hashtags that will be able to have your information found easier as well. So that's kind of the sense of gauging it. And the rule of thumb for everything, have someone else look at your stuff. So if you just don't know, you're like, I don't know, is this right? Have someone who will give you an honest opinion. And personally, again, I do not advise family members, spouses, partners. I do not advise that. Have someone that you trust that will give you a personal opinion judgment on your content. Pick a social media platform and say, hey, can you just go look at my Facebook page with eyes that you're someone that doesn't know me, and give me a sense of who do you think I am? And do you feel the sense that I'm going to sell you, that I'm a salesperson? So have them review that for you, because then you can gauge on pulling back some of your promotion. Now here's another tip. So as we wrap this up, the tip with when you do promote, first of all, any link that you put up here, you are an amateur. You are an amateur entrepreneur. If you put a direct link to your website that sells product in total. So again, if you're working in any network marketing business, you guys have a page that the company gave you to use for your sales and to sign up other entrepreneurs with you. You have that page. It's an amateur entrepreneur to put that link up there. So for instance, say you wanted to sell an awesome product that you have, and you talk about your experience, and you're like, this is a good post because I'm not really directly selling. I'm sharing people my best practices and tips and my experience. And if they want to go get it, I then just put my link. And they then go off to your website and then look around and go, I'm gone. When you put your link up there, it's first of all saying, I'm a salesperson. I want to sell you. I want to sell you. Hi, I want to sell you hard. Then the other thing is, no, I haven't heard of Unicity. I'll have to look that up. Thanks for putting up there. Then the other thing is, when you put your link up there, then it's basically like you telling me, hey, why don't you just go to Amazon and tell me what you like? I never do that. If you see any promoted posts that I have on my page, the links never go to my network marketing business. It doesn't at all. Because I don't want to just send people randomly to my page because they're going to buy the wrong stuff. I want them to get the right thing for them. Too many times people buy the wrong thing because it's popular. So I want to have a conversation with that person. So the links that I put up are sign-up page links. Like sign up here if you want to work more directly with me. Sign up here so I can figure out a program with you. Because I don't want people just to go to my site and pick anything random. Because if I send people to my site, they're going to get lost. They're on Amazon. That's it. So up on a like page, you're going to see there's a a call to action button that you can put something in. And you can, of course, put different websites right there as well. Do not have your business URL there. That's like wrong 101. Wrong 101. Stop being so promotional on your page. It has to be valuable. You have to give away content. And I always promote this one Periscope that I did that is over on my YouTube. And I should just put it in my Periscope downloads, theperiscopescoop.com. If you want to get some free tips and training from me, you can go there, theperiscopescoop.com. But this one video I did teaching you how to create an email capture form, an opt-in form, is over on my youtube.com/Christine Dwyer. So make sure that you just go over there and do that so that you know how to effectively build those cover photos and all, so that you're capturing people's emails. So that, in a fast nutshell, is exactly what you want to do when you're looking at how much you're going to promote. And when you do promote, it's not a direct hard sale approach. It's basically leading people to more value, so you can always offer value in the same post that you're going to promote. So for instance, to give you an example, on my Facebook page as well as my Instagram, I'll put up these little mini workout videos for people because obviously I'm a fitness professional. A lot of the times I'd prefer people to find my content where I'm teaching great form and technique because I'm a stickler for form and technique. I'd prefer they find my stuff and get great ideas or to be inspired or to be able to just do something for the day. But I'm also, that stuff gets shared, and that's the other reason why, because I want that shared. But I will sometimes just teach people in the video what to do. But then sometimes in my video, I will actually vocally say, if you want a meal plan, then go to 21dayleanout.com and I'll give you a meal plan you can use to shed fat in 7 days. You'll lose about 5 to 6 pounds, 8 pounds sometimes in 7 days. And also I've got online workouts that you can follow too. So I'm teaching them, I'm giving them video training of a workout, teaching them about it, but then also saying, and if you want something that's going to speed up your results, go get it over here free. So that, of course, is my way to promote without just promoting. And hopefully that makes sense. So always deliver. The rule of thumb, always deliver value even on the promotion. So my website to get the download for the meal plan is 21dayleanout.com, and you'll get a free meal plan as well as I have an online private library of workouts that you could do. But if you want to work directly with me, setting you up with a personal program, I, of course, align you up with a product from the company that I'm in network marketing for, and that's, of course, with Beachbody. So your workouts are the bonuses. Yeah, well, that's the value. All my mini workouts that I put up there are the value. That's what people want, is they want that content because, again, I'm a fitness professional and I can speak effectively about training the body. I'm keeping the person safe, and they have that reputation of people can trust. And a lot of the stuff that I create is creative as well, but the other side of it all is I show a lot of modifications. So I'm not just trying to be that super athletic person that shows people all the insane stuff that I can do, because a lot of people will do that, is they'll just do this insane workout that no one can do but just them. You cut out where the 21-day meal plan, what's the address? 21dayleanout.com. So 21dayleanout.com. If you want to work with me and find out more about becoming a coach with Beachbody and having me personally mentor you, go to Live Fit Out Loud. So Live Fit Out Loud. And of course, that's who I personally consult with and mentor, are the people who are working directly with me. I virtually train other people this capacity. And then if you want to join the Facebook group for Periscope training, Live Fit Out Loud. So Live Fit Out Loud. You can go to Periscope Performance Academy over in Facebook, search that term, and the group should come up. But again, the group is named that. Do we go back and delete newbie type posts on social media? If it doesn't have a lot of if it doesn't have a lot of content on or interaction on it, and it's really salesy, and you kind of cringe when you see it, get it off. Get it off. Live like I'm living. Live fit out loud, because my message is the more I could put my fitness public, I stay fit. And that's the truth. That's the reason. So the more you can be more accountable in your fitness by putting it out publicly, then you will stay stronger and more fit as well. Thanks again. Bye.